your penchant for grand gestures, I'm simultaneously terrified and thrilled. Please tell me it doesn't involve any more rogue art supplies.
Morning, everyone. Lovely weather for a wedding planning session, wouldn't you say?
Sophie, please, let's not announce her nuptials to the entire faculty before we've even had our first cup of coffee.
Tumataya ko dito. Tapos na ako tumae. Ikaw ba? Tumatay. Tapos na ako. Tapos na ako. Gusto ko, ayos na lang ako dito. Ayos na lang ako dito. Gusto ko kumain na lang ako. Ayos na lang ako. Bumakan na nga dito.
The lipstick incident was an accident. Entirely accidental.
A happy accident, wouldn't you say, darling? Besides, what's a little lipstick between Fia and Cass? Yes, Mr. Harrison, Ms. Bella and I are both teachers. And yes, we're also both engaged to each other. It's a 2-for-1 deal.
She has a flair for the dramatic, doesn't she? It's part of her charm. Now, if you'll excuse us, we have a wedding to plan. Preferably one that doesn't involve redecorating the art room.
We'll see. Auditions start next week. Prepare your best interpretive dance routine about the joys of lesson planning.
Lesson planning? Really?
It weeds out the weak.
Tapos kinuha niya, kinabas ako ng kamay. Sakit na. Buti hindi ako na-rabies. Sakit. Lumakad. Kaso gusto niya lumakad. Baka ganun na yan. Malaki na yan eh. Baby pa, di ba ako ganyan?
It weeds out the weak.
You and your weeding. Come on, let's escape this caffeine-fueled inquisition before Mr. Harrison asks any more probing questions. Miss Bella and Miss Sophie, hand in hand, meet their escape from the staff room, leaving behind a bewildered Mr. Harrison and an enthusiastic Miss Davis, already envisioning her bridesmaid duties. The next few weeks were a whirlwind of wedding planning. Miss Sophie, true to form, embraced the chaos with her usual dramatic flair.
Think bigger, Bella, bigger. We need more glitter, more doves, and definitely more fountains. Chocolate fountains, at least 3.
Sophie, love, I adore your enthusiasm, but are you sure we need 3 chocolate fountains? Wouldn't one magnificent chocolate fountain suffice?
Gusto mo pa ito? Mama?
But Bella, it's our wedding. The wedding of the century. It needs to be extra.
Ayoko na.
Miss Bella, despite her reservations about the potential chocolate overload, couldn't help but...
Magkagat tubig ah. Wala naman na ito naman. Ano?
It's just so beautiful.
Ito ko lang
Like,
yan. Ayaw malalaro. Dati ko lang yan. Mali na ako sa kuya. Pagdating mama, papahinga ka. Pahinga muna dito. Ay, lagot. Tulog ka lang ng kuya. Kuya. Tapos, masasaw-saw dan. Masasaw-saw dan di kape mo. Masasaw. Lagi pula to eh.
it's just so beautiful. Like a scene from a movie. A very messy, paint-splattered movie. But beautiful nonetheless.
Kuya, may piso dito. Piso.
I love you, Miss Bella. Now, let's go attack that chocolate fountain.
I love you too, Miss. Sophie. At first, a little warning, I'm still a little traumatized by the art ring incident, so if you even think about dipping your dress in the chocolate fountain,
No promises.
It's
Miss Bella, despite her reservations about the potential chocolate overload, couldn't help but smile at Sophie's infectious excitement. The day of the wedding arrived, a beautiful spring afternoon. The entire school was invited, and the gymnasium turns about the potential Miss Bella, despite her reservations about the potential chocolate overload, couldn't help but smile at Sophie's infectious excitement. The day of the wedding arrived, a beautiful spring afternoon. The entire school was invited, and the gymnasium, transformed beyond recognition, was buzzing with anticipation. Principal Matthews, ever the sentimentist, had even provided a tissue station for guests overcome with emotion. No promises.
that's me, girl. And now, come on, Mrs. Sophie, let's greet our adoring public. The newlyweds navigated the throng of well-wishers, accepting congratulations and dodging rogue tall. Eventually, the crowd thinned, and Miss Bella and Miss Sophie found themselves alone in the now empty gymnasium, surrounded by the remnants of their spectacular celebration.
That was a lot, but perfect.
Absolutely perfect. Though I think Principal Matthews might have a minor PTSD episode every time he sees a paintbrush from now on. The following Monday morning found the school back in its usual rhythm, although the buzz of the wedding still lingered in the air. Miss Sophie Humming happily, prepared a batch of chocolate-covered strawberries, a special treat for her new life. The school bell shrilled, signaling the end of first period.
Right, Operation Strawberry Surprise is a go. Bella's in second period with 10th grade English. This is my Right, Operation Strawberry Surprise is a go. Bella's in second period with 10th grade English. This is my chance. Balancing the container precariously, Ms. Sophie hurried down the hallway towards Miss Bella's classroom. Unfortunately, her stealth skills were somewhat lacking. A trail of melted chocolate, like a modern-day Hansel and Markern trail, marked her progress.
Now what in the world is this chocolate? Seriously, is there anything that won't get stained in this school? First paint, now chocolate. What next? Glitter. Oh. Now what in the world is this chocolate? Seriously, is there anything that won't get stained in this school? First paint, now chocolate. What next? Glitter. Oh, please, don't let it be glitter.
Mission accomplished. Now to make my escape before.
Ms. Sophie, care to explain the chocolate river flowing down my hallway?
Oh, I missed her. Matthews, fancy seeing you here. Just admiring the adult. Oh, I missed her. Matthews, fancy seeing you here. Just admiring the adult work?
Tile work, eh? With chocolate grout? Reminds me of that Jackson Pollock project your class did last semester. Quite expressive.
Oh my goodness. My papers. I completely forgot. They're due in the office written. Oh dear, how clumsy of me, Mr. Matthews, would you mind terribly?
Of course, Miss Sophie. Although I must say, this is becoming a regular occurrence. First paint, now chocolate, and now flying essays. Is there a theme emerging here? Just then, Ms. Bella, fresh from her second period class, rounded the corner.
Oh, this easy to blow. What's going on here? Did someone declare a surprise floor cleaning contest?
Bella, just a little mishap. I dropped some papers. And some chocolate.
Mishap is an understatement, Miss Sophie. It's more like a chocolate-fueled paper tornado. And I believe these belong to you, Miss Bella. Recognizable by the rather enthusiastic annotations in red pen.
Chocolate, you say? How intriguing. It appears this mystery deepens. Sophie, darling, are you hiding something from me? And what exactly were you doing in my classroom anyway? I don't recall us any essays involving confectionery.
Well, you see, it was supposed to be a surprise.
I do believe I'll leave you two to discuss this. Just try to keep the chocolate contained, all right? My handkerchief. I do believe I'll leave you two to discuss this. Just try to keep the chocolate contained, all right? My handkerchief can only handle so much. Chocolate, honestly.
So, care to explain the chocolate-covered surprise? So, care to explain the chocolate-covered surprise?
Well, I wanted to bring you a celebratory treat. Our honeymoon is officially over, and I thought a grand gesture was in order. You know, back to reality, back to school, back to chocolate-covered strawberries.
And this is the grand gesture? I must say, darling, your definition of grand has become rather abstract.
But they were Belgian chocolate-covered strawberries, imported. I had to smuggle them past customs, you know. They're a delicacy, and I was trying to sneak one into your classroom as a surprise. Before I tripped over the recycling bin. Apparently, delicacy doesn't translate to aerodynamically sound.
Oh, Sophie. Omia could turn a simple romantic gesture into a school-wide incident. Come on, let's get these papers picked up before the hallway becomes a stampede. Then... Oh, Sophie. Omia could turn a simple romantic gesture into a school-wide incident. Come on, let's get these papers picked up before the hallway becomes a stampede. Then you can tell me all about your smuggling adventures.
It was quite the ordeal, actually. I had to hide them in a hollowed-out dictionary. It's not a disaster, Mr. Harrison. It's a celebration of our honeymoon being over, and the triumph of Belgian chocolate over airport security.
Don't mind her, Mr. Harrison. She's still suffering from post-honeymoon delirium. Though, the story about the dictionary is quite entertaining. Apparently, customs officials don't expect Shakespeare to be filled with contraband chocolate. So, about that dictionary?
Oh, it's a tale for the ages. You'll have to buy me dinner to hear the full story.
Deal. Now, come on. Let's get this chocolate cleaned up before Principal Matthews declares a state of emergency.
Bella, there's something I've been thinking about, something important.
Oh? More important than that time you accidentally dyed the entire 5th grade blue during arts and crafts?
Hey, that was a valuable learning experience. They learn it about the unpredictable nature of art. Anyway, this is serious.
Alright, I'm all ears. Or, well, one ear. I seem to have developed a slight strawberry aversion after this afternoon.
I've been thinking about starting a family.
A family?
Yeah. You know, the whole kids, house with a white picket fence, minivan the works. Our own little chaotic, loving family.
Sophie, that's a lot to take in. I mean, I love the idea of us building a life together, but children. Mini Sophias and Mini Bellas running around, creating their own chocolate rivers in the hallway. It's stunning.
It's a big step, but I can't help but picture it. Imagine little Lowen with your eyes and my flair for the dramatic. Or little Olivia with your wit and my love for, well, everything.
Oh, and Olivia, you've already picked out names?
Maybe. It's just I can see it, Bella. Us with a family. It feels right.
It's a lot to think about, Sophie. A very big, life-altering lot. But let's talk about it. Let's explore this daunting, wonderful possibility.
So about that daunting, wonderful possibility.
Careful, you almost took out my prized collection of Principal Matthews commemorative tissues.
They're safe for now. But listen, what if we, started sooner rather than later?
Started sooner? Are you suggesting what I think you're suggesting?
Well, what are you thinking I'm suggesting?
That after a long day of wrangling glitter bomb-obsessed second graders and dodging Mr. Harrison's questionable fashion choices, you want to start making babies?
Exactly. Think of it. Tiny feet pitter-pattering down the hall. Tiny voices calling for Mama Sophie and Mama Bella. It's perfect.
And while the idea of miniature versions of us causing even more chaos in the world is certainly tempting, I have one condition.
Anything. Name it.
I want to be on top.
Oh, you're on. Oh, you're on.
So about that top bunk.
I believe a certain someone promised me a demonstration.
Patience, my love. All good things come to those who wait and those who know how to appreciate the finer details.
And I intend to appreciate every single detail.
Good morning, Mrs. Bella to be.
Good morning indeed. Though technically I'm still Miss Sophie for now.
A mere technicality, and that they intend to rectify very soon. Speaking of which,
Speaking of which, what?
down to
With pleasure. A little Bella Sophie or a little Sophie Bella? We'll have to flip a coin.
or we could just have both.
Both? Bella, darling, are you sure you're ready for double the trouble?
With you by my side, I'm ready for anything.
Ladies and gentlemen, gather round. I have an announcement. Even better, we're expecting twins.
This is just wonderful. The school is so happy for you both. Double the blessings.
Twins to wow. I guess that settles the top bunk debate.
Don't worry, love. We'll figure it out. Just like we always do.
Ready for this, Sophie?
Ready as I'll ever be. as I'll ever be.
You know, it's strangely quiet without the constant buzz of student chatter.
Quiet now, just wait until these two arrive. I'm already envisioning finger painting masterpieces on the walls and impromptu concerts featuring very loud crying.
That must be them.
Come in. We appreciate the sentiment and the warning.
Noted. We'll be hiding all markers, paints, and possibly the dog.
Don't worry, love. A little chaos is good for the soul, right? Let's just say it was a memorable experience.
They're good kids.
They are. And they're right. It will be epic. Especially with you by my side. They are. And they're right. It will be epic. Especially with you by my side.
Look at this, Sophie. It's beautiful. The students made it themselves.
Ah, that's so sweet. They really outdid themselves. It's almost too nice to let the babies near, knowing our luck with, well, everything.
Don't worry, we'll just have to double the beaver piping. Maybe triple.
Good plan. Though, I have a feeling these two will find ways to get into trouble no matter what we do.
Look, a note. A note. May your babies bring you as much joy as you brought to our classroom. How sweet.
Oh, my heart. Let me see. That's lovely. I wonder if the other gifts have notes too?
Hope your kids aren't as loud as I was in class. Good luck. Oh, that's definitely from Jason.
I can practically hear him saying that. Remember when he brought his pet frog to show and tell and it escaped into the ventilation system?
And Principal Matthews nearly had a heart attack when it talked out during his morning announcements.
Kuya ba? Kuya ba? Kuya ba?
Listen to this one, wishing your babies a life full of art, laughter, and maybe a little less paint than their moms had. They even drew a little stick figure version of us covered in paint.
Hinihintay mo ako, Gorodan ah. Sandali, sinagagit lang.
This one's a drawing of us with devil horns and tiny, screaming babies. Turning.
Oh, and look at this. It's a miniature replica of Principal Matthews, complete with a tiny megaphone. They even included a speech bubble that says, "No running in the halls."
These kids, they're incorrigible.
But there are incorrigible kids. And they're right. Our life is definitely about to get a whole lot more interesting. But there are incorrigible kids. And they're right. Our life is definitely about to get a whole lot more interesting. Where do you think Mr. Snuggles the giraffe should go? He looks a bit lonely over there by the bookshelf.
Maybe next to the mobile, they could be a cloud-watching duo. And the miniature Principal Matthews definitely needs a place of honor. Maybe on top of the changing table, so he can supervise diaper changes.
Perfect. He'll keep us in line. Though, knowing our track record, I doubt even a miniature Matthews can contain the chaos these two are going to unleash.
Speaking of chaos, have you seen my copy of Pride and Prejudice? I could have sworn I left it on the nightstand.
Oh, Pride and Prejudice? Funny story about that.
Sophie, what did you do?
Well, you see, I may have accidentally used it to prop up the wobbly leg of the crib. It was just a temporary fix.
You used the first edition Pride and Prejudice to prop up a crib? Sophie,
It was an emergency. The crib was about to collapse. And besides, it's not like it's damaged. Just slightly imprinted with crib leg.
Mile, Sophie. Mile. Now, how are we going to explain this to the rare book dealer who sold it to me?
We could tell him it adds character. A unique crib-aged patina? Or maybe we could just buy another one and hide this one, deep in the attic?
The attic? With the Christmas decorations, then that box of old yearbooks? I'm pretty sure that's where Principal Matthews banished the rogue fraud Jason brought to school.
Oh, right. Well, maybe we can just embrace the crib leg imprint? Think of it as a symbol of our growing family? A literary birthmark?
You're incorrigible. And I love you. And I love our slightly crib-legged first edition.
And I love you. And our slightly chaotic life. And I have a feeling it's about to get a whole lot more interesting with these two little ones on the way. Now, where should we put this miniature frog?